I hope this video finds you doing well and that you are blessed. So I just wanted to take a moment and share with you a little bit of my story around dieting and diet culture. When I was in the 6th grade going into the 7th grade, so it was that summer, my mother came to me and said, Marshallana, you are 190 pounds and your weight is getting out of hand. Before you know it, you're going to be fitting into my clothes. We have to do something about your weight. And it was really then that I realized that it was a big problem. But I guess just being around my family, you know, we ate a lot. We enjoyed good food. Both my parents are from the South. I'm from the South. And we just had good, rich comfort foods all the time. We went out to eat. Often we ate TCBY, which was, if you don't know, the country's best yogurt. So we would have parfaits, sundaes, like all those things were enjoyable and memorable moments for us when we spent time together and really bonded. So that was a part of our family culture. And I didn't realize that those habits and me eating seconds, thirds, fourths, and just, you know, being free to eat whatever I chose, whenever, I didn't realize that it had really caught up to me and ballooned me to 190 pounds. So that summer, my mom and I took our health into our own hands and we took responsibility. But the way we went about it was deciding to plunge into diets. So you name it, we tried it. It was the Scarsdale diet, Mayo Clinic, Atkins diet, Slim Fast. I know everybody remembers that. Weight Watchers. We were on just about every diet you can imagine. 7-day soup diet. I could go on all day long with these diets. And sometimes we would see results, but they wouldn't last long because the diets they didn't really teach us how to sustain, you know, these habits long term. And honestly, a lot of them weren't sustainable. We didn't want to live that life permanently. We didn't want to make that lifestyle switch to such restrictive meal plans. So I started to exercise as well, in addition to dieting, and it catapulted into an extreme exercise routine because I didn't necessarily get the results that I wanted from dieting because in between diets or on the weekends when I, you know, would have a cheat meal, I would go overboard because I had deprived myself for so long. So because I couldn't find balance in eating well and, you know, enjoying the things that I did like, I felt like I had to exercise my behind off. Like I was killing it in the gym, multiple sessions a day for hours on end, like running myself into the ground. And I felt like it was okay because I was seeing the results that I wanted to see as far as my physique went. But later on, I had a physical, I'd say probably 5 years later, I had a physical, and I was told that even with all the exercising that I was doing, I was at risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer at the rate I was going. So that was a wake-up call. I was in my 20s, and I was like, that is unacceptable. You know, exercise is not everything. And so it was a rude awakening for me that I had to address my eating habits. And I knew that yo-yo dieting wasn't the answer because it hadn't worked for me since I was a kid. So if you can relate to anything that I've shared with you about my story, then I want you to know that you're not alone. There are plenty of people out here like us. I've met plenty, I've heard from plenty, and it's okay. We have a different challenge ahead of us, right? We can see the results we want to see, being fit, being healthy, and leading those lives while still enjoying good food and still enjoying our lives, enjoying those experiences where we come together and, you know, make those memories with friends and family. And sometimes it can be around food, sometimes maybe it's not. But there is freedom that can be had by both you and me outside of dieting. So the reason why I'm presenting you this video and my story is because I want to share with you, if you've been on this bandwagon of yo-yo dieting and just can't figure out why you're not seeing the results that you want to see and why you're not reaching your goals, I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why dieting doesn't work, so you can understand better that it has nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. We have subscribed to a dieting culture or a way of life that was never intended to be a way of life. There's no fast track. This is a marathon, right? We have to change our lifestyle, and it's not a sprint. All right, so walk with me as we talk about 6 reasons why dieting doesn't work. Reason number 1 why diets don't work. I want you to close your eyes and imagine the first day of the last diet that you were on. So, do you remember what it felt like? You were motivated. You were like, you know what? Whatever I'm doing hasn't been working, but today is the day that I change. I'm going to stick to this diet and I'm going to see it through to the last day. I'm going to see results. I'm going to feel better about myself, and whatever the restrictions are, whatever the guidelines are, I'm going to follow them to a T. I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to do my exercise. Like, you have committed to cold turkey, going straight into that diet, doing everything by the Bible, right? By the book. And you're feeling motivated. Day 1 comes and goes. You are a victor. You're strong in it, right? And then over time, however long the diet is, you start to see yourself approaching the midway point. And even maybe toward the end, you start to feel like, oh geez, like I'm starting to crave some of the things that, you know, I miss. Or if I freaking have one more meal that is chicken that's bland and dry, a sweet potato, and some green beans, I'm going to go crazy. Like, I need variety. I just want flavor. This is not working for me. Oh, I can't wait for this diet to be over. Just thinking about all the things that you are going to enjoy when it's over. Oh, I'm going to reward myself. Can't wait to go to movies, get some popcorn, or just go out to eat at my favorite restaurant, TGI Fridays, get that brownie obsession. Okay, go to McDonald's, get, you know, some fries. You want everything that is on that restricted list, everything that you know you can't have. That's what you're starting to think about. Am I right? Well, if you're anything like me, I am hitting the nail on the head right now. So that's reason number 1 why diets don't work. They are restriction based. And anytime that you are restricted from something, your body's automatically gonna want that thing, and it's gonna keep nagging at you. And there's no reprieve, because you gotta stick with that diet for 30 days. There's no freedom in that. So then you're in this place of misery for 30 days or 2 weeks or how long the diet is. That's reason number 1 why diets don't work. All right, reason number 2, we're going right into it. So after that diet is over, as we talked about before, you're already starting to have these feelings of, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have my favorite meal. I can't wait to, I'm gonna fix some mac and cheese, or, you know, I'm gonna have that cupcake that I've been wanting. Whatever it is that you normally crave, like, you basically have a list of all the things that you're gonna eat. Like, I'm gonna have this day, and then I'm gonna have that. Like, you have basically mapped out your whole meal or your meals for the next couple of days. So you may have seen results, and that's amazing. You stuck with the diet. You saw some results. You know, you felt better. Your clothes fit a little bit better. You're feeling healthier. But you couldn't get that nagging out of your head for whatever item you were craving, or items that you were craving this whole time. And you oblige yourself. You give in, you cave, you say, you know what? I deserve to eat something that is flavorful. I deserve to eat something with, you know, variety. I don't want to see not another chicken breast or sweet potato or spear of asparagus for however long, until I decide that I want to go back on another diet, or I want to start eating right again. Like, let me just enjoy this moment, right? I feel you. Listen, my issue was that going from one diet to the next, or even just eating clean the whole week, like no variation. Like I would eat clean for 1 week straight, or Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, baby, I cheated. Okay, and when I tell you I used to cheat, it would be a king size or family size of Doritos, a big old bag. I would intentionally get the big bag, and I would intend on eating every single chip out of that bag in one setting. I might get some fajita nachos, and then I had to have dessert, so I would eat. It was really bad at one point. My trainer at the time was upset with me. He was like, Marshalana, are you serious? You went and got a 12-pack of cupcakes and ate all of them? I was like, well, I had to eat them all because I knew that by the time the weekend ended, they had to be gone. I wasn't gonna waste my money. I wasn't gonna waste my money on that. And I enjoyed it. I had deprived myself the whole week. I deserved it, right? So that's reason number 2 why diets don't work, is because you are just constantly thinking of what you want to eat, the things that you've been craving, and you give in to those cravings. And so all the good work that you've done starts to become null and void, because you're starting to reward yourself with the things that you shouldn't be having, the things that got you in that position to begin with. That's reason number 2. As these cravings begin to take hold, you start craving a little bit more and rewarding. Crave again, reward. And so this constant pattern, this consistency with rewarding those signals, or rewarding that behavior, you're going to solidify in your mind that when it signals to you that it wants something that you shouldn't have, you're going to reward it every time. We cave into those feelings, and we're like, well, I deserve it. Like, I lost 10 pounds during the diet. Like, I'm not going to gain 10 pounds by eating one cookie or one bag of chips. Like, it's just not going to happen. And that's true. But when you start to reinforce that behavior every time your mind tells you, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What about that ice cream sundae? And you're like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to get the ice cream sundae and I'm going to get right back on it. It's all right. What you're doing is creating a monster, right? Do not feed the beast. Don't let the beast control you, okay? I've been there, done that. And so what we're finding more and more now with recent research is that foods are not manufactured or made the way that they were back before the Industrial Revolution. So before the Industrial Revolution, we had lots of whole foods that were grown in rich and nourished soil. So they had nutrients and things in them that the food that we eat today doesn't necessarily. It's not as whole as it used to be then. Also back then, we didn't have a lot of sugar on the shelves. Like, sugar was a commodity to have, and sweets would be made, but on occasion. So families would have sweets on occasion, and even when they did, the sugar looked a lot different than it does now. And you may be saying, what do you mean? Well, what I mean is, now sugar cane is one of the most profitable crops that the world produces. And you can see it all on the shelves everywhere, whether it's like the pure sugar cane bag or it's in some processed food that you buy off of the shelf. You check the label, there's some type of sugar in there. And nowadays, when we eat these sweet things that we crave, it's not just regular sugar. It's not the old-fashioned sugar that they were eating back in the day. Chemists and the food industry have teamed up now to be able to combine sugar molecules, right? Or to create foods, whether even if it's a salty food that you like, something that's a fatty food, whatever you crave. Food looks different in general. I'm just giving this example of sugar. So they take a sugar molecule, right? That's just normally glucose. That's just our common everyday sugar. And they may take that glucose molecule from the sugar cane and then they combine it with fructose, right? They may combine it with 2 or 3 other molecules of different types of sugar that they've extracted from things like corn syrup, or that they've extracted from different plants, right? And so when they manufacture a new type of sugar molecule, like the sucralose you find, high fructose corn syrup, all these different type of sugars that we can find. I think there's a list of over 72 different sugar molecules nowadays that they put in our products. And the reason that they do this is because it amplifies the taste of sugar or sweetness on our taste buds, which makes us crave it more. So they've done research on the mind, and they've seen through CAT scans that when we ingest these new sugar molecules, or these new sugary foods that they've synthesized together, that it makes our brain centers light up on the CAT scan like it never did back in the day, or like it would with a normal sugar like glucose. So when you see that, then when you're eating these things, you then create more of a craving or an affinity for those things, and they know what they're doing. So that's the reason behind modifying our sugars and all of our other food, is because they want to create these profiles and basically hijack your brains and your taste buds into wanting more of their products. So the ploy behind all of this, synthesizing and manufacturing foods differently than what they were before the Industrial Revolution, is so that we come back for more. So when you have these cravings and you feel like, I can't get enough. Like I said, I was going to look Pringles, right? I said I was only going to eat one. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. That phrase or that slogan is there for a reason, right? Like I have literally had a can of those things, eating them, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I seriously can't stop. And the reason is because they've manufactured it that way. They've done those studies to make sure that you can't put it down, and that your brain creates this reliance and this dependency on their product, so that you'll always come back. They'll always be in business. They'll always make money and profit off of you. And I know it sounds wild, and it may even sound just completely crazy to you, but this is proven research. And what I'm saying all this for, reason number 3 that diets don't work is because once you've deprived yourself and you start to, crave these foods, well, over time you can really become addicted to the food. And it then is not a matter of choice or willpower. Understand, willpower has nothing to do with this at this point. When you've created a food addiction, now your brain relies on that food. And so whenever it says, I want it, you are almost like a robot. You have to go get it. And so that may be one of the reasons that you have been unsuccessful on diets, or even just maintaining or losing weight. All right. So reason number 3 is diets can become or can create a food addiction. Reason number 4, we're switching gears a little bit. So when you are on a diet, normally with those restrictions, you are taking out certain foods within a food group, right, that are on the restricted list, or some diets will take out, completely exclude one of the food groups. And when I say food groups, I really mean macronutrients, whether it's protein, fats, or carbs. So for instance, a diet like keto heavily relies on fat as an energy source. And so it takes out the carbs. It takes the carbs out of the equation. Well, to be honest with you, if you try any diet or new eating plan where you take out a whole macronutrient group, you're going to see results. You're going to lose weight. But the problem is how healthy is that method? That's what we want to question, because if we're losing weight, we definitely want to do it in the healthy approach. We don't want to compromise our body and our physiology, right? So when we take away a whole food group or take away some items in food groups and take away that variety, then we can cause a nutritional deficiency, or we can be at risk for nutritional deficiencies. And the reason that I bring that up is because carbs, for example, carbs are basically sugars, right? When they break down in your body, it breaks down as sugar, but sugar is not necessarily always a bad thing. When your body breaks down to sugar, which the glucose is a sugar that your brain uses as its primary fuel source. When we take out carbs completely from our diet, and like for instance with keto, we rely heavily on fats, our body can make the switch over time and use fat as an energy source. However, if we're not eating carbs, and one of the carbs that I want to mention and harp on the most is fruits, right? There are some vegetables that have carbs or that are, carb dense. When we take out fruits, sweetheart, you are taking out vitamins and nutrients that your body needs. Those vitamins, nutrients, and minerals that your body needs, not to mention fiber. Fiber is one of the, it's like nature's golden nugget, I'll say, or it's like it helps you to keep disease in check, right? So more and more studies are finding that fiber is the key to a healthy gut, right? So if you have a healthy gut, then you're going to be less likely to have disease or to ever be in a disease state, because research shows that digestive issues and fecal matter, like any infection and stuff that's sitting in your intestines will eventually cause you some kind of disease. So we talk about heart disease, digestive disease, any kind of disease or illness, especially that has to do with your digestive system, your heart, all the systems of your body, derives from your gut. So if your gut is healthy, then you, in consequence, are healthy. Well, one of the things that clears your gut out is fiber. So you don't have fiber from whole fruits, right? I'm not saying fruit juices, that's a whole different thing. When you take a whole fruit like an apple and you eat the skin of the apple, you eat the whole apple instead of juicing it, you are taking in fiber with the carbs. So the carbs then aren't bad. You're getting your antioxidants, you're getting nutrients, you're getting minerals that you need, and you're getting that fiber so your body can effectively clear out all the junk inside of you. Like that is, having fiber in your diet is one of the most effective and natural cleanses, right? So when we go on diets and they completely take out some of these food groups, whether it's carbs, fats, or proteins, then you're going to risk having the proper nutrition that you need to get to the healthier version of you that you desire. Reason number 5 why diets just don't work is because you could lower your metabolism, right? And the whole premise behind working out and eating better is to boost your metabolism so you burn more calories and then you just usher that fat right on out your body, right? Like that is the reason that we do it, is we're changing our metabolic functioning and increasing our metabolism, right? So that we can have better fat loss and then, be healthier, all that good stuff. So when you subscribe to a diet, you might as well just sign your life over, right? Like you have to, especially diets that are somewhat more sustainable, like your ketos, low carb diets. When you subscribe to a diet like that, just go ahead and sign your life away. And the reason that I say that is because if you are not committed to staying on that diet for the rest of your life, which I'm not even saying that that's healthy. Those diets are sustainable for longer periods of time, but they are not meant to be a lifestyle because you're cutting out whole food groups, right? So your metabolism can take a beating when you're going from one diet, right? So let's say you stay on that low carb or no carb diet for a long period of time, and then you say, you know what, I've seen the results that I want to see from it, and quite frankly, I'm tired of eating I don't know, bacon and cheese, or, you know, those high fat foods, like I miss my carbs. Like I miss my bread, or I miss my fruits, or, you know, whatever it is, my sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness. That's one of the reasons I said absolutely not to keto. You may decide that you want to switch to another diet, or that you just want to go back to eating normal. Well, when we're going from diet to diet, you're causing your body to go into confusion, right? And so it's saying, okay, well, I have been using fats now as my primary energy source once you took away carbs. So because I'm not using the glucose and carbs to fuel your brain activity, to fuel the engines of your body, to make sure that you're healthy and you're thriving, I've switched to fat. And so now I'm in a state of ketosis, and all of a sudden you want to change to something else, and now like your body's just, it doesn't know what to think. And so what happens is it shuts down and it just goes into survival mode. It's like, okay, she's confused. She doesn't know exactly what she wants to do. I don't know what sources to use. I don't know what to do with these carbs now. Like, am I still prioritizing fat storage? You know, like, am I still burning the fats from, you know, the fat cells, or do I switch to carbs as an energy source? Like, your body doesn't know what to think. And when your body is in a state of confusion, instinctually, right? Like, it goes back to its instinct and its natural habit to go into survival mode. Okay, like, message to all the centers of the body, message to the brain center, like the signal goes from your brain to all the parts of your body, and it says, stop the press. We are now shuttling everything that she eats right into storage, because we don't know if we're going through a struggle right now. Like, if we are in survival mode, we don't know when the next time is that we're going to eat something that we can't, you know, like, we can't prioritize fat loss when we may be about to go into a depression. We may be about to be going into a famine. So your body starts to store everything that you eat as fat cells. That's exactly what we don't want to happen, right? So your metabolism then slows down. It's like, okay, slow down on burning these fat cells now. We might need them to survive. We don't know what's going on. So that is the danger in switching from diet to diet, or dieting in general, when you have those restrictions or the complete elimination of one food group. Because once you do decide to switch, or you see those results and you're like, okay, now I'm ready to get back to normal eating, your body may just start to store more fat and lower your metabolism, which is going to make it subsequently harder. With each diet you start, it's going to be more difficult to lose the weight, and you're at risk of gaining more weight after you end the diet. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Diets don't work because they can slow your metabolism down. Reason number 6, we are at our last stop. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I hope you are getting a lot out of this information. So the 6th reason why diets don't work is because you may very well be addressing the symptom instead of the source. And I say that because I was guilty of it myself. We want to lose weight because of the fat, right? We see the fat or the weight gain as an issue. And we're like, okay, no, you know, we need to get rid of this, right? Whether it's for aesthetic reasons or if it's because of health reasons. That visceral fat may have to go down in order to ensure that you're not at risk or you're not in a disease state anymore. Your doctor may say, hey, you got to lose 10, 15 pounds. Okay, well, we're focused on the weight. We're like, all I know is I got to get this weight off. Okay, that's true. We are aiming to get rid of the fat, but how did the fat get there to begin with? Like, that is just a symptom of the problem. You know, that's just a byproduct. How did the fat cells get there to begin with? They didn't just show up one day. It's been a long and a significant amount of time that you have progressively or gradually increased that weight. And there's something in your habits, even maybe something, so definitely something in your habits, but what do those habits stem from? Why, whenever you nail down what the habit is, like, okay, well, I'm eating a lot more, or I snack a lot, or when I eat my meals, I go back for seconds. I just don't feel full, or I just can't stop until I feel like I gotta unbutton or unzip my pants because I'm busting out of them. Okay, so that's the habit, like that's something that's that you're doing routinely that continues to exasperate the problem, right? And makes you continue to gain the weight. But why, dig a little bit deeper, why is that habit there? What has brought you to the place where you have basically instilled that habit? Try to retrace your steps and figure out, where did this habit even come from? Where did it begin, and why is the biggest question. Why did it start? Why do I feel like I have to eat until I'm full, bursting out of my pants? Why do I feel like I'm not satisfied when I eat? Why do I feel like I have to snack even when I'm not hungry? Whatever the habit may be, there is a reason as to why the habit is there. So that's reason number 6, is you may be addressing the symptom, which is the weight, instead of the source. And until you reach the source and the reason why, you're never going to, it's going to be a challenge to really get to the place where A, you're healthy and you're fit, you've reached your goal, and B, you're happy and you're not having to chase this, to run on this roller coaster, or be on this roller coaster, or run this race, every time you turn around because you've gained the weight. No, when you attack the habit and the root of it, the reason why, then we can start to work our way into better living that will turn those habits around and get you where you want to be. We have reached the end of this video, and I hope that you found it insightful. I hope that you can walk away knowing something different about dieting and why it doesn't work, but even more importantly, feeling esteemed and encouraged that you're not alone. That if a diet or dieting has not worked for you, that you are amongst many of the same, right? Myself included. Diets aren't intended to work. They were not designed to be a long-term solution to fitness and health. They're just not. And so it's no wonder why they don't work for us and why they should not be a part of our everyday lives. Okay, so I want you to think about that last point, number 6, right? Looking at the source instead of the symptom. So take a moment, whether you pause the video or do it after the video, I want you to really think about, if you're attacking the symptom here, what is the reason that you want to lose weight? What's the reason that you want to be healthy and fit? We need to figure out what your why is, and then discover what the habits are that have led you to the place where you currently are. What habits have been there, or that may still be lingering, that have not allowed you to live your best life, sis? Those are the things that we want to start thinking about now. And if you are not sure of how to move forward in gaining freedom and just enjoyment in life, and being able to live a prosperous, bountiful, blessed life, and being free from diet culture and major restrictions in what you eat, what you can eat, when you can eat it, and you just want to enjoy food like me, like I'm a foodie, I'll admit it, and I enjoy the experience around food. I enjoy flavor, I enjoy variety, I enjoy experiences around food and culture. That's just who I am, and there's nothing to be ashamed about if you are the same way, right? So if that's you and you want to learn more, please click the link below this video and schedule a call with me so we can just talk about, I just want to chat with you, sis. Let's just talk about where you are and how to move you from point A to point B, which is where you desire to be and where you may have been trying to reach for so many years, like myself. I've discovered that freedom, and honestly, sis, nothing more would delight me than to be able to help you on your journey too. All right? I love you, and I can't wait to chat with you soon. Bye-bye.